Hi, Kelly Bear here. I've sort of just, again, impromptu live. I sort of debated it for about, for about 10 seconds in my head because I'm feeling kind of bleak and that doesn't really make for interesting viewing, if my videos really ever make interesting viewing, I think. Especially my lives are probably just I don't know, people watch them back as well when they haven't been in the live, which always blows me away because I feel a lot like a chaos goblin and my videos are all over the place and I don't really feel like I ever have anything interesting to say a lot of the time. And I've spoken before about how these lives have been a way for me to sort of socialize because I've been stuck in my flat for 16 months this month. Not 16 months straight. Obviously, I will get to the park sometimes with Dr. Nomi, and I go to medical appointments because all that stuff's been going on. But yeah, I haven't been anywhere social. Other than the park and medical appointments for 16 months, which really does a number on the old noodle, I have to say. And I'm really struggling. There's people in. We've got Candy. Hello, Candy. Butterfly Love Child. Sam, Mitchell, and Scott. Hello. The title, Feeling Bleak Too. So I'm not the only one. Hi, Chris, my love. So yeah, it's just really tricky. And the thing that I know I'm very much aware that it's partially hormonal because the old Aunt Flo's due in town very soon. And I do get a little sort of miserable and I'll be like crying at like random stupid stuff. But it's more than that, or it feels compounded or compacted because just everything feels so bleak. I keep seeing, I saw a friend who this morning was like, I haven't really been anywhere and I've been really careful and I've been wearing a mask, but I seem to have gotten a cold and I don't know how I've gotten a cold. I'm just very bunged up. At least I know it's not Delta because I'm all snotty. And I just sort of was like, hun, like you need to get tested because Delta has different symptoms to the original variants of COVID, and it mainly being a bit of a sore throat, runny nose, and headache. And a lot of people that thought they had colds actually had the Delta variant of COVID. And she was like, "Oh my God, okay, yeah, I'll go get tested." This is a very smart academic woman who has a finger on the pulse of the news of what's going on in the world. And the fact that she didn't know that information really just shows to me how our government has completely failed our people in informing them of up-to-date information regarding COVID. Like it's really concerning, So she's gone to do the right thing and go get tested. But I've seen other people say, I think I've got a cold, but it's just a cold, and they don't realize the symptoms are different. There's our government all over, right? There are articles out there, there's lots of information out there from scientists, but I forget that not everyone is on Twitter devouring information from people whose literal job it is to research this stuff and be on top of this stuff. Not everyone is watching the Independent Sage meetings every Friday at 1:30 p.m. like me being a big old fucking nerd is doing. Kelly, as you know, I've shielded with Tilly and know what it's like to not have to go out of the house. It's bleak making, yeah. And you know what? Some of your garden videos have helped sort of bring a little bit of joy into seeing the beautiful space that you're making, Candy. It looks really magical. I'm really bad at commenting on people's videos. I really should be better at that. I tend to sort of do too many things at once, and I tend to watch even short videos in bits, and then I sort of forget what I'm doing. And I do comment sometimes, and sometimes I type a comment and then I move away from the page. I come out of the page or I close the tab and then forgot that I typed out a comment, and then I've lost the comment. And then I'm like, I've lost it now. But yeah, it's just bleak making. And then today there's a new cafe that has opened across the road from me, just down the road and across the road, just a little bit ways down. and I wanted to be supportive. So I thought, oh God, I went to grab a coffee and see if they had any like vegan cakes or pastries, and they did. They had vegan blondies, peanut butter and chocolate chip blondies, and really, really lovely coffee. I got a coffee and it tasted like, it didn't have anything added to it, no syrups. It just had this beautiful like salted caramel undertone. It was lovely. It was really nice coffee. Oat milk flat white. And but there were quite a few people in there, mostly yummy mummies, those sort of middle-class mummies with their giant buggies and their children running around screaming, little vectors of disease running around screaming at the top of their lungs, emitting droplets everywhere. And every single one of these yummy mummies had no one, not even the staff behind the counter, no one, not any of the other customers, no one had a mask. And every single person, barring the children, because they were doing their own thing, like minding their own business, having a whale of a time, running around as children want to do. Yeah, I got looked at like I had 3 heads because I was wearing what's called a Cambridge mask. They're from the Cambridge Mask Company. They are super hardcore, reusable, medical grade masks. They're really good. If you want me to put the link, I'll try to remember to put the link below for people. They do really good deals. I managed to get 2 for the price of 1 a couple of weeks ago. Actually, I just realized I forgot to put the links in my last live chat. I need to find that. Oh my God, I'm the worst. Cambridge Mask Company. And they do them in all sorts of colors and prints now. So in different sizes, and they're really good. They fit really snugly. So yeah, and then I came out of there like feeling, well, a little stung because the coffee and the cake was really expensive. I'm like, well, that's clearly not going to be a regular coffee place. But also just the fact that I'm like, are people just really not concerned? Are people really not concerned about it? And it just makes me feel like this is why I'm shielding, because I can't go anywhere, because me and my husband are high risk, and you know, people are not wearing masks. See, that made me feel really. I'm not going to Glastonbury. Nope, I'm not going to Glastonbury. No, because I'd have to get the train down there, and then, you know, hours on a train with people probably not wearing a mask. Nope. So yeah, it's just really frustrating because, you know, I would like to have a life again at some point, and obviously I have a life, but I mean a more interesting life where I can like go to things and see people other than like my doctor and other medical professionals. And, you know, my husband, I love him very much, but he's the only person I see all the time. Just as well we get on, right? My God, I've seen so many people be really nasty about their partners during this pandemic. I'm like, why do straight people marry people they don't like? Maybe that's the trick. I don't know. It just seems to be like, why are you all marrying people you don't like? So let's have a little look in the chat. There's some other people. Makoma, is she? Hello, yeah, it's I've been inside for over a year, says Scott. Someone said Simon. Oh, Ancient Visions. Oh, Simon, you snuck in there. Whew, under the door. I didn't spot you. Hello. Meow, meow, meow. Sarah, hi Sarah, sending virtual hugs. The whole pandemic has been just a shit show for the whole world. You know what, and like I said in my last live chat, I just felt like there was a little bit of glimmer of hope, and then the government went and fucked it by opening everything up and removing all restrictions. That's the thing, fine, open clubs and stuff, but put restrictions in place. So we'll see what happens over the next few weeks. I mean, you know, it would be wonderful if cases continue to drop, but from what I've seen from scientists, people that know what they're talking about, they said that the cases are probably, it won't be like a peak like this for summer. It'll be kind of like this, because yeah, and so far they've been right on everything. Stay hydrated. So yeah, so just feeling bleak. So I know it's a combination of hormonal stuff, and it's such a shame because there's so many interesting conversations going around at the moment in TarotTube, like tags and things that I want to do, but at the same time, having the drive to like just do them is just lacking. So, you know, my shop's on holiday mode. I'm keeping an eye on things. I do have a batch of pouches that can go up, but again, I'm just going to see what happens. Like I said, I might take a little bit of a summer break, because like, what am I doing? Just sitting here making things continuously for months and months on end without really I don't know. And it's the thing, like, I was like, if I have a break, what's the point? Because I can't go away anywhere. But also it's important to have a rest. But then if I'm really bad at resting at the moment, because I feel like I should be doing something useful. It's very strange. But at the same time, living with chronic illness, I'm aware that I should be mindful that I do have to rest. But on top of that, there's so much that needs doing around the house. Like, the kitchen needs a really good deep clean. You know, like when you just like go balls to the wall, just scrub everything with an inch of its life. You like take everything out the cupboards, and you go throw away stuff that's out of date, and like put stuff that's almost out of date towards the front, and, or, you know, just rearrange everything and just go through all your crap and just see if you need to get rid of stuff. And I need to do that in the bathroom. I need to do this bedroom. It's an absolute tip. And I'm one of those people where, like, if I'm in a bad headspace, my place starts to get messy, because usually I'm very tidy and organized, and that's when I know my mental health is starting to take a dip for the worse, when stuff around me gets messy. And it's a vicious circle, because my mental my anxiety is exacerbated by mess and chaos. But then if my mood is low and my well-being, my mental health is really low, I struggle to, you know, do the things, but then looking at the mess makes me feel worse ad infinitum, right? So it's like catch 22. It's what I find it will usually get to a point where it just drives me so crazy that I sort of always have a bit of a break, and I'm like, and I just have to like blitz the place. The thing is, though, because COVID, I can't. And then when I would usually get rid of stuff, I would post it out. I would get rid of stuff on our local sell or swap group. I would try and get stuff to the local skip, which is a faff, because you have to book in there at the moment because of COVID, and we need to hire a car, and there's no parking outside our place, and then we have to park around the corner and try and carry. It's a whole thing. So then all of that, and then like go to or donate stuff to charity shop. But because I'm not going in shops, and I don't really want to have to go to the post office without really having to go, and I don't want to have to sell stuff on sell or swap at the moment, because it means I'm having to interact with people. It's like, it's all very well clearing space and trying to get rid of stuff, but I mean, obviously some stuff will get thrown away, but anything that doesn't or can't or shouldn't be thrown away, or that I might be able to make a little bit of money on, so I'm just left with like stuff just so yeah, let's just have a little look. But yeah, I'm one of those people that I quite like to, I'm really good at getting rid of stuff. And who was it? Someone said, really interesting. I don't know if it was Julie over at Peekaboo Rose, or maybe it was Mixtress Ray, possibly. Someone was saying they're usually really good at clearing stuff out, like getting their stuff out of their apartment or their house, but struggling to get rid of decks. And I'm the same. And I think there's some decks that I know I don't want to keep. Like, I'm like, these need to go. I need to get rid of them. And I have given some decks away, and I have sold a couple of decks. But there are decks that I kind of like, or I'm not sure if I like them, but I need to work with them. But I think the problem is it's a faff, because I keep them in a couple of bins in the corner, plastic containers, tubs. It's hard to access them. And I think if I had a lovely big bookshop, oh my god, if I had a lovely big bookshop, oh my god, would I ever leave? Would I even be complaining about being indoors all the time? Probably not. Well, probably, because, you know, it's me. But if I had a lovely big bookshelf like the one I've got all my books on, I could get on with all my decks on, I think I would find it less stressful. It's the not having the space for them, or trying to figure out the space. And because we need to figure out our space and our storage, phone's going, my husband will have to get it. It's probably a scam call. It usually is. It'll be a scam call, or it'll be one of our mums. Hang on. I think it's a scam call because it's gone quiet. So it's probably listening to an automated message. It's usually like, we've noticed some, was it fraudulent activity on your TalkTalk account? And I'm like, that's funny because we're not even with TalkTalk. I'm usually like, can you confirm the name on the account, please? And then they hang up because it's a scam. Yeah, I imagine it's a scam because he's not called up to say it's anyone, my mum or whatever. So, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I think like if our flat was all sort of sorted out and decorated and we had more sort of organized storage space and my decks were like somewhere where I could access them more easily, I think that would actually cause me less anxiety around my collection. And then I'm like, I don't want to just get rid of my collection or a load of my decks purely because I don't have the shelving space at the moment. When there's room for the shelving space, it's just working it out and getting the flat decorated. So it'd be a shame to, I'd be like, damn, why did, you know. So there's that. And since having the bookshelf, I had the bookshelf a year this month. I definitely use my books more and pull my books more because they were all sort of stacked up in corners on top of each other, you know, like in piles, and then it's hard to access them and they were in corners. And now that I'm able to access them, I use my books. So that stands to reason that the same would go for the tarot decks. So they're just in 2 bins. It's like, it's just I have to get to them. Anyway, let's see what's going on in the chat. Meow, do. I would say only 5% of people were wearing masks there when I went last month, says Candy. It's so disappointing, isn't it, Candy? Waiting on medical referral appointments. Frustrated clinics aren't open. Oh, is she? I'm sorry to that. I'm waiting on multiple referrals as well. But again, everything's been put on hold because of COVID again. And like I said, I had a pre-op assessment again a couple of weeks ago. And it was looking like I was likely to get a date for my surgery, my exploratory surgery. And then everything started going mad with COVID and the government lifted all restrictions. And then they were like, oh, you might have to wait until next year. Like, it's like, don't mind me, I'm just in pain every day. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, so this live with COVID nonsense. Hi KB, your vids are enchanting, entertaining, very informative in many ways. This is the thing, I'm like, but are they though? Because most of the time, entertaining maybe if I get on a rant, although I think that puts a lot of people off. You're either in camp pro rant or camp anti rant. You either find them amusing or you find them tiresome. I know, right? And I wouldn't blame you because I find myself tiresome. Camping in the back garden is not quite the same as a proper getaway. Do you know what though? Because I have no outdoor space, I would love to camp in, a garden to camp in. I would love a balcony to sit on and drink coffee and read a book and to have a little few plants on. I don't even have that. It's a lot to deal with. Damn it, YouTube deleted my comment because I called Simon a handsome fucker. Brilliant. My apartment is a wreck and my mood is low. That's the thing, like it feeds into itself, doesn't it, Scott? It's catch-22. Candy says, Kelly, can I just address, you said you don't feel like you have interesting things to share. I think you're one of the most delightful. Oh my goodness. Candy, behave yourself. I don't really make that much. This is the thing, because I do a lot of lives now, I have had a lot of thoughts about what is my channel? What is my channel? At the moment, my channel is just random lives. That's just what it is. There was a time, maybe around 2017 and 2018, where my channel was a lot of unboxings, and that changed after I did a depth year in 2019. I think that's probably only natural because my channel is a reflection of me and my life, as in a way, as well as but adjacent to tarot, right? Tarot, witchcraft, herbalism. There's so many things that I wanted to do. Like I was like, I'm going to start my Herbal Highlight series. I announced I would be doing the Herbal Highlight series in 2019, summer 2019. It is now summer 2021. I have all the notes for the first episode. And you know, I just need to sort of tidy them up and film a damn video. And that's the thing, I feel like my brain always has too many tabs open because there's so many things that I want to do, but I'm also lacking in the drive and the energy to like do stuff. And that was actually a thing I was thinking about earlier, about perfectionism as well. Because my space is a real mess, is there a way to show you, actually, let's just show you my desk. This is what I was going to show you, what came in the mail. Like, I don't know if you can see, there's just like stuff. There's stuff, I don't know if you can just see, just like, it maybe not, doesn't, there's all stuff like here on the, usually it is everything is in its place, and the desk space is clear, and I'll have like my phone holder and like my glass of or mug of whatever, and it's very organized. But yeah, once it's all starting to encroach, and then there's like piles of crap on my old desk there. There's stuff on the floor, like, which wouldn't usually be okay. Like, it's just, you can't really see, but yeah, it's a shit show. And because my head is like, oh, there's like little squirrels running around in it. I'm like, I need to sit down and do some tarot, but because the space is a mess, my brain is like, that's literally what my brain feels like. My brain can't tarot. My brain can't. It's like the irony of, you know, when I like to do, you know, not when I'm just throwing the cards for like a little quick reading, but if I'm doing like a Sabbat thing or an Esbat thing. Happy Lunasa for yesterday, by the way, folks. Sorry, I should have said that first. For those of you that celebrate. You know, and I did nothing for Lunasa, like personally this time round. I did sit and watch Kong Skull Island with my husband last night, which was fun, but not very Lunasa themed. Yeah, if I'm doing like a weekly spread or a monthly spread or something to do within a ritual or whatever for a thing, I do have a set thing that I like to do. I don't necessarily light incense and candles, especially if it's during the day. I'm not going to light a candle because a candle for me is obviously part. If you can't see the effect of the candle for the ambiance, then that's kind of pointless. But you know, I have my spread cloth, and you know, I might spritz myself with something or use an anointing oil and sort of just, you know, get myself in a certain space and, you know, do the reading. But you know, when things are going better, it's easier to do that. But when everything is like hot stinky garbage, it's really difficult to just throw some cards. And it's so funny because when pre-COVID, if I was like at a cafe or in a pub or at a picnic or whatever, and I had my cards, I don't bother with a cloth and all that stuff. If I was going to a friend's house and they specifically had asked for a reading, I would pack like a little, you know, reading kit with my cloth and everything. But generally, as a rule, like if I would just throw, you know, a deck of cards in my bag, and you know, I would just get them out. I did used to get them out on stage, for those who know. So the boobs, not the cards. Are you confused yet? And I would just throw my cards down on a picnic blanket or on a cafe table or on a bar top at a pub or whatever, like, and it doesn't matter. But like, to just do that when I'm feeling chaotic in this messy space, it's really, really difficult. And usually I would just go to a different location. Like, I would be like, well, pre-COVID, I could even take myself to a quiet local cafe and scurry away into a corner and do a reading, or to my local library and hide away in a corner and do a reading. But I can't do that. So my other option would be to go down to the living room and do it on the coffee table, or go down to the kitchen and do it on the kitchen table. But again, the whole flat has just we have been shielding for so long, and we're both just not in a great, both me and my husband are not in a great space mentally, that the whole flat is starting to descend. It was never great to begin with, but it's descended into utter chaos. So there's no respite from it, and I'm stuck in it. So yeah, it's really tricky. And I'm aware that, you know, the first world problems, this is, compared to what some other people are dealing with, is just very, it just feels very, and then I'm like, why am I complaining? Just fucking suck it up. Stop being a stupid cow and moaning about pathetic things, and just put your marigolds on and start sorting shit out. Easier said than done though, right? Because the brains lie to you. Brain chemistry and mental health wibbles on top of chronic fatigue issues and chronic pain. It's like, so yeah, so there's Devil Kelly going, oh, you're useless, you should just sort your shit out. And then Angel Kelly going, oh, but you know, you need to make sure you look after yourself. And me in the middle just going, oh, okay. Let's just see. Nancy's here. Hello, Nancy. Even YouTube is set against me, says Simon. Piles of stuff for charity shops, limited access to car, and it feels like hoarder's paradise. I see, Ishi. That's where I'm with you at the moment. Candy, I was watching your July happies, and I catch Kelly live. Empathy with love, living with pain every day. Oh, it's just not the one, is it, Ishi? Kelly Bear belching would entertain me, remember? Oh yeah, that's I've not done that for a while. Maybe I'm just less gassy these days. Why so bleak, says Joe? Just because, you know, just being shielding for 16 months on its own is enough, right? But the fact that, and I see people going on holiday and people going to events, and like a local bar was like, yay, no more masks, now the killjoys can't ruin our fun. And I'm like, wow, thank you for making me never want to go to your bar. If you're calling people that are clinically vulnerable that need to wear masks killjoys, didn't realize my health was such an inconvenience. Like, just making it feel like any of us that actually do need to wear masks is like an inconvenience. And what's that name? Neil Oliver, that Scottish bloke that did all the like Coast series on the BBC and the history of Britain, he's completely lost the plot. He's saying, well, if you die from COVID because you caught it off me, well, then that's just tough. That's the way I see it. And I'm like, whoa, like there's people literally out there saying that on TV. Like, if you get sick from COVID because you caught it off me and you die, that's just the way it goes. Like, people just out here just being really fucking like just awful. Like, what a cunt trumpet. I just can't. Where is the compassion for other people? Where is the thoughtfulness for other people? I don't want to wear a mask. My freedom. If like, it's not your freedom. Like, you have to wear a seatbelt. And yeah, people did complain about seatbelts when they were first made mandatory. So that tells you everything. There were people that complained about having to black out their windows during the Blitz in London. There have always been selfish assholes about. Can you imagine being the person complaining about not wanting to black out your curtains during the Blitz and being like, I'm not giving in to the Nazis? Like, bitch, you are not immune to bombs. You are being stupid. You are literally risking other people's lives by being a selfish and stupid tit. Like, because people go, oh, Blitz spirit. Lots of stuff went down in the World War II that people seem to have not, either people just don't know the history or just it's been forgotten. But everything wasn't peaches and cream. There were people that did not want to go into the bomb shelters. There were people that did not want to switch off their lights. There were people who didn't want to carry and or wear a gas mask. There was the rate of murder went up and crime went up during the Blitz, because bodies could be hidden amongst the rubble and try and blame it on bombings. Houses that were partially bombed were looted. Assaults went up. Like, stuff went down during the Blitz. It wasn't all like fucking we'll meet again and oh, knees up Mother Brown and drinking tea and eating fucking custard cream biscuits. But it's just been so romanticized, you know. Good journey, Tara. Hello, Rosemary. The anxiety makes it almost impossible to sit peacefully and connect to intuition because the brain is too busy, but the procrastination, depression doesn't want to clear the space. Therefore, the shit. Yeah, exactly. Like, it's hard to quiet the brain bogglins. I've definitely struggled with the meditation and tarot and stuff. I'd say it's probably been particularly bad the last couple of weeks. Robin is here. Hello, Robin. Piles up and that feels anxiety, mental health doozy. Yeah. Tarot trainee. Hello, tarot trainee. Welcome. Miss Honey Bear. Yes. I love that when people are like, you spelt bear wrong. I'm like, no, I haven't. It's deliberate. Depression is a real ugly thing, says Scott. Yeah, sometimes I'm like, I just want to like trip balls on some really great drugs and just lay on my bed and just wake up when it's all done. Just take me out of it. We will don those marigolds when we have the vibe for it. Peace and be kind to yourself. Thank you, Ishi. I realise anxiety doesn't care, but if it helps my health is a disaster too, says Sarah. Thank you. Self-love is a trench warfare in my mind, says Candy. Please don't put yourself down because you perceive other people having it worse. This affects you in a very real way, and those emotions. Yeah, but like, you know, there are people that are like literally in really bad situations. And I think that is partly like my mum talking, because whenever there was anything ever wrong, even to this day, she'll like be like, oh, but so-and-so has it worse, or there's people that has it worse, whether it be I'm in pain or I've done something wrong or I'm upset. She'll be like, yeah, but such and such is worse. So it was always like, well, you can't complain because it could be worse. And I think that's just ingrained in me from childhood. You know, my mum would be like, stop crying. What are you crying about? I'll give you something to cry about. Sounds awful, but, you know, 80s parenting, hey. Bleak House, it's a Dickens of an issue. Indeed, Robin. I am thinking about a serious minimalist action going on. Hiding shizzle, clear lines is bliss. I'm neurodivergent and visual noise is an issue. Right there with you, Joe, on that visual noise. I'm also a really messy person, the dilemma. This is the thing, I'm generally quite tidy and organised, but I need to have systems in place. And our flat doesn't allow for it because it needs to be decorated and organised. And my husband is a hoarder. And he has it's like I'm the one that wants to get rid of stuff and tidy and organise stuff. And he's the one that holds on to stuff and is not very good at being tidy and organised. So, yeah. What's my zodiac sign? Aquarius. Well, that's fascinating. Kelly, my history knowledge is awful. America is showing its ass too. So many people just feel like if you can't work, you're just a drain. Yeah, it's really, really terrible, that whole idea that we need to be productive, we need to be useful as people doing something. Like the only validation as a human being is to be a useful cog in some kind of machine or of service, and some of us can't do that. Like some people are in a position where their health or their disability or whatever it is just doesn't allow for that. You know, that's why I worked part-time doing hair and makeup, because physically I couldn't work full-time because, well, I'd be in hospital and possibly dead. Feel you to the drugs, sod adulting, just feeling it not there. Yeah. Physical clutter definitely feeds into a cluttered, depressed brain. It's hard to get out from under all the physical and mental clutter once it's all around you. That's the thing. I'm not great with clutter. I like organising. Ooh, my phone's going. I'm going to have to pause. Hello? National Crime Agency. They're going to suspend my national insurance number. It's been found suspicious for several illegal activities. Block. I thought it might be my doctor. I'm waiting for a call from the doctor about some other stuff. I'm waiting in a referral that I've not heard anything on for 6 months. Yay. Let's see. I have been telling myself for a year and a half how good I have it, but I am still lonely and have growing anxiety over the last month. Oh, Rosemary. Oh, I wish I could just, well, safely and consensually hug everyone. It sucks, doesn't it? Wow, there's a person in here who is has eyeballs, can tell what color my hair is. Thanks. I was gonna say, are you red hair? I am human. Well, no, I'm a bear. I'm a human bear. I'm a bear human. No, bear human makes it sound like I'm naked. I guess I'm naked underneath my clothes. We're all naked underneath our clothes. What am I? Anyway, I've been waffling for 35 minutes. See what I mean? This really doesn't have anything to do with tarot for the most part. But what I was saying about 20 minutes ago was there's loads of really good. I'm doing an Eddie Izzard, go on a massive tangent and bring it back to what we were originally doing, and I'm going to pretend it was intentional, like Eddie Izzards are. Yeah, there's loads of really great discussions going on, and there's so many videos I want to make, but at the same time everything's a mess, and I want to sit down and do a nice big juicy crunchy like tarot reading, and yet my brain is just like you know, have you seen Galaxy Quest with the aliens, and they're like that's how my brain feels inside that noise. So yeah, my screen light is a bit low. Turn it up. Little things get you more than they used to. Like yesterday, I forgot I hit broadcast. It did my whole life for myself. No, Rosemary. Oh my goodness. We've all done it. Let me just say. We've all been there, but it fucking sucks. Whether it's a live or pre-recorded, and you've just sat there and like chatted to yourself for like however long. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Yeah, that's the thing. It's death by 1,000 cuts, isn't it, Rosemary? Like things that I would usually just, they might cause a bit of anxiety and I'd deal with it, or they might not even bother me too much. People water off a duck's back. I up my duck is back. But when it's like a cavalcade of bullshit continuously, so you've got the cavalcade of just COVID itself, and then there's the just being indoors forever and ever and ever and ever, and then like 12 billion health problems that, you know, need sorting out, which is stressful, but then also having to deal with all the appointments and the phone calls and the emails and the referrals and the letters and all that stuff that goes with that, and going to different places in a pandemic, and the added pain from things you don't know what they are, and then there's like the mess, and then there's like having to see the callousness of people just not giving a shit and just being, well, if you're clinically vulnerable, I guess you just need to stay indoors. People like literally going, well, you just need to stay indoors. Just stay. Just like if you're at risk, that's just your own. I'm not wearing a mask. Just stay indoors. That's your problem. Which is just like goes against everything. And I know everyone's different, right? It just goes against the way my brain works. I'm just like, can we all just not be kind to other people and think about other people? But obviously that's not how everyone is wired, I guess. I don't know, including lots of people that I'm close to and family. There's some, but like there's that very, and it seems to have been nurtured by our current government, that sort of screw you Jack because I'm okay vibe. Hence, you know, like things like Brexit and stuff. It's very Little Britain. It's very hateful and nasty and selfish, and I don't like it. It's not kind or fair or just. Yeah, I don't like it. I spotted a Richard in here somewhere. Longman Tarot, hello. Hello Neem, lovely. Hi Kelly Bear and everyone in chat, good morning. It's morning for you, Neem. I need a professional assistant when you're long-term ill to manage the calendar of appointments, right? Like I'm like luckily I haven't had an appointment for a couple of weeks. I had that 2.5 weeks, no, 17 days was my last appointment at the hospital. But yeah, sometimes it feels like they'll have like a whole spate of appointments to go to and then nothing for a few weeks and then a spate of appointments again. It's very annoying. The times I've done that, says Simon. You'll make you laugh. I wish could safely and consensually give everyone a hug. You know what I mean though, right? Like Oh my God, Richard, you put hello tarot lovelies, but I read that as hello tasty lovelies. Tasty. But anyway, so Simon will know this because I guided him. I had no idea that the Eros tarot had a second printing. I saw Tom Benjamin share it on Instagram last week, and I went, now I like Simon, had seen the Eros tarot just too late. I literally had just sold out when I spotted it, and I was just starting to sort of eye up Marseille decks. And I was like, damn it, Janet. But oh well. Move on. It's not available anymore. It doesn't matter. And I kind of forgot about it. And then and then I saw that they had a second printing, and I was like, oh my god, and I can't, like, it's not. I could spend some of the money I got for Christmas and birthday that I'm saving for my camera on the deck, but then to me, which is more important to me, the camera, which was the whole point of asking for money from family and friends at Christmas and birthday to get the camera. So I need to save it for the camera. But it was so close to going into like it was in my car, and I was so close to pressing buy. And I was like, oh, no, that is a lot. That is a lot. That is a lot of money. The deck is expensive. The shipping is expensive. There will be custom and handling fees, and goodness knows what else. It's a lot. I can't really justify that on a deck. And I was like gliding Simon, going, you know, I want it precious. And he was like, come on, just treat yourself. You know, you've been stuck indoors for 16 months. Everything's rubbish. Just buy the thing. And then I was like, no, I'm going to hold off. So I left it in the basket, and I went away from my computer, and then I went and just about my day, and I sat down to have a coffee, and I was like, why do I want this deck? Because there's all that conversation that's going on at the moment, which is part of the reason I was like, one of the things I wanted to make a video about, because it's something that I have tackled and struggled with and sort of, but this is how I dealt with it. Because it's been a long time since I've had that. It really took me by surprise. I haven't had that I need it precious in a really, really long time. Not since like depth year. It's a good couple of years. I've really managed to overcome that kind of thing. And I was like, why do I want it? It's because I originally wanted it and I couldn't get a hold of it, and then I just forgot about it, and now suddenly I realized that it's a buy-ish, my love. I realized that it's now an option again, but I hadn't budgeted for it, obviously, because I didn't realize. And you know, it's also, I guess, because I see myself as the kind of person that would own a saucy deck, you know, having been a burlesque performer and worked on the cabaret and burlesque scene, also behind the scenes as a hair and makeup artist for a decade, and being around the burlesque scene. Many of my friends are still burlesque performers or burlesque photographers. One of my besties is a burlesque photographer. You know, like, it felt like I'm the kind of person who would obviously own. It's like two parts of my life have come together, tarot and sauciness, but a titillation. And then I was like, why else would I be wanting it? Why else? Because it's beautiful, right? It's a beautiful collectible item. Why else do I want it? Because it's Marseille, and I love Marseille, right? I love to read with Marseille. Pip decks are my favorite now. It's my favorite way to read. And all these other things, and just that realizing that I would potentially be able to own it now if I wanted to. And as the day went on, that I'm live. Right. Do you need something? All right. Okay. Oh, is it your belt? He's looking for his belt. He's managed to grab it around the corner on the floor. I thought he was going to crawl into the bedroom then, but he's not. He's gone. And as the hours went by, that like that, you know, that kind of feeling, it abated, and I was able to just sort of go, and I took it out of my cart, and I felt fine. I felt like I didn't need it again. I didn't need it. I didn't need it because I was thinking, how much would I really read with it for myself or for other people? I'm not a professional reader, so there's that. And then how often could you read for that? It'd be great if I was a professional tarot reader and I was doing readings at burlesque shows, but I'm not a professional reader and I'm not going to burlesque shows at the moment. So anyway, so he doesn't just have a towel on again. He's dressed. He's got his jeans and his t-shirt on, but he just needed his belt. So yeah, it just sort of went. And to sort of overcome that like need, there was another deck that I have been following and have wanted for a long time, and it's actually been out for, I don't know when it came out now. I think it came out last autumn, summer or autumn, and it's the True Heart Intuitive by Rachel True. And I love Rachel True. I've been following her on Twitter for ages. She was like one of my favorites. Her and Nancy were my sorry, that was really reverberated. Were my favorites in The Craft. The Craft is literally how I really started to get into paganism and witchcraft and tarot back in 1995, 96. And I'd followed, I'm so sorry to people's ears, to anyone that may be wearing headphones. My hands are just really slippy. I'm very clumsy. So, hi, Kat. I just saw Kat Widdowson pop in. Hi, my lovely. And yeah, I followed the making of this deck. I saw all the updates that Rachel was posting on Twitter and on Instagram. I was listening to all the interviews Rachel was doing on all of the witchy podcasts I listened to. And I was super excited. But because I wasn't bringing money in at the time, because my shop was closed and I wasn't doing hair and makeup, I'm still not doing hair and makeup. I wouldn't allow myself to buy it. And it was on my wish list for like Christmas and birthdays for family or friends to buy, but that wasn't one of the presents that people picked. So I was like, you know what? There's a deck that I've wanted probably, just as much, if not more, than the Eros Tarot, because once I realised I couldn't own the Eros Tarot, I sort of that a few years ago, I sort of let it go. Whereas this one has been on the forefront of my mind for a really long time. And I went online and I found it at Book Depository for £16 or £15. It had like £8 off. It was from like £24 to 16, I think. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's not even £20. I wanted it for long enough. I followed that. I'm just going to buy it. And that was my concession, because it wasn't a FOMO. It wasn't an impulse buy. It wasn't out of my budget. It's a deck that I've literally wanted since I saw it announced, maybe 2 years ago. Just buy it. And that was my treat to myself. It's got a big book and a big box. They do that thing though, when it's like, oh, I don't love this, when it's like in 2 piles. No, but that doesn't matter, because we all know I'll make a pouch for it. It's different shape to usual decks, standard deck, I should say, usual deck. But so yeah, I managed to overcome, and like I said, that was the first time in a really long time I've had that I need it. Do you know what I mean? That like you get the like, it's that rush and that excitement. And then how excited would I be when I looked at my bank balance and saw how much fucking money I spent on some bits of card? I've been there before. Most of my expensive decks, though, have been gifts from my husband, because he'll treat me. Like my Moon Baby Tarot, I wasn't going to order that because, again, the shipping and the customs, and, I was like, I want to support Brent, but I don't have much money, honestly. And my husband, who is the sole breadwinner, not the sole breadwinner, that makes it sound like I don't make any money. I do. He's the main breadwinner. When you live with someone with chronic illness, unfortunately, I feel there's a whole other thing there that I'd like to unpack with regards to feeling like a burden to your lover, which is a whole other thing I've been dealing with for the last 10 years. But anyway, oh, what have I done? I've put them together the wrong way. But yeah, so I see now, look, that you can see where they've been in 2 piles. Not loving that. Bye, Rich. Who's going? Richard's going. Bye. Got a dash. Bye, my love. So yeah, I can't remember what I was saying. Marsha, hello, Marsha. Cats here. Simon, wouldn't you like to know what I get up to outside the realms of elemental cartomancy? What is going on? Are you lot? If you lot were being cheeky in the chat, I've not heard of OnlyFans. How do you know these sites, Chris? I don't believe Simon's not heard of OnlyFans. Wavies. I love that deck so much. I didn't know I didn't know you did burlesque, Kelly. That's amazing. And many moons ago, I hung up my pasties in 2010. Summer 2010 was August 2010 was my last performance at the Ziegfeld's Underbelly at Hoxton Square, Soho. It's Hoxton Square, Shoreditch. Sorry. That was my last performance. I did my signature splosh act in my rubber bear outfit. There are photos floating about. I was very good at managing to get a hold of a lot of the incriminating evidence. But there are some photos floating about. Not that I mind. It's not like I do a job where I've never done a job where it really mattered. I was performing burlesque when I worked in fashion, and the designer I worked for knew I did burlesque and was like, "Oh, when's your next show?" So it wasn't really. They didn't care. It's like fashion, darling. No one gives a shit. So yeah. That's where my name Miss Honey Bear comes from, because my nickname is Kelly Bear. And then when I obviously have a performing name, and I was like Honey Bear, and then I was like, oh, if I spell it B-A-R-E, it's a play on words. So that's where that comes from. Simon's now they talk about chatterbait as well. Bloody hell. Toadstool Tarot coming soon. The saucy decks of Kelly Bear. I don't own any saucy decks. That's the thing. But do I need saucy decks? I know Simon's got a fair few saucy decks with dongs out everywhere. I guess like the Witch's Tarot, that's the thing, they're not saucy, it's just nudity, and I don't automatically see nudity as saucy. The Eros Tarot is very clearly trying to be titillating. It's definitely got its tongue in its cheek, its butt cheek. That's the thing. What's poor essential oils? I've missed something. Bollocks, I just cracked open a new essential oil and realised I can't smell it or anything. Dang it. Oh, Joe. What? Careful. Goodness. So yeah. This was my little thing. Hard to think of Simon as a saucy minx. No, I know Simon could be a saucy minx. He played Frankenfurter. Come on, are you kidding me? Don't let him fool you, Robin. Saucy. So, should we have a little look? The cardstocks. Yeah, I saw some people saying they didn't like the cardstock, but I imagine it'd be quite good to riffle shuffle. Can I get my hands around the deck? She says. Can you get your hands around it? I'm really not loving that you can see that they were two very distinct piles. Gonna have to try and remedy that with plenty of riffle shuffling. I don't think I'm going to do like a full walkthrough, because like everyone's seen this deck, right? And there's proper walkthroughs if you want to see. Magician. As far as I know, this does have multiple ethnicities and some age variants, but is not so that it's great on that front. And I think Rachel was very insistent that, she wanted, being a black woman herself, wanted to, have some racial diversity in there. And I believe the artist who did the art. See, this is what bugs me with these. Where's the artwork? Illustration, Stephanie Singleton. Was Stephanie, I can't remember Stephanie, what her background is. But yeah, at least it's on the back. But yeah, I don't know. I've had lots of good things about the guidebook, which is one of the things I'm super excited about. But it's gorgeous to riffle, Kelly, says Candy. Well, that's good to know. Masha, I got a 70s version of the 1JJ last night. Oh, nice, Chris. Nice. But from what I've seen from walkthroughs, there's not any real like disability inclusion here, or any larger bodies or body variants in here, so that's a shame. So the High Priestess looks like she's a little older. It's hard to see. The camera's bobbins, sorry. So we have the Empress. I love that her hair is all like flowers. She's got the strawberry dress on. It looks like, well, it's not. It's meant to be apples maybe, or pomegranates, but it looks like that. These, do people know what I'm talking about? The strawberry dress. The chariot. Hello from Athens again. Hello, Angelo. How are you doing? The emperor, clearly an older man with his grey hair. I don't know why, but this one really makes me laugh because it looks like the Pope is just like he's got a light show beaming from his head. So that does make me giggle a little bit. The lovers, there's lots of sort of alchemical weirdness going on in the background. And I felt like, I know I tend to read more with pips these days, or I mean, I've been using, for situational decks, I've been using the Melanated Classic or the Numinous, but mostly, again, just sort of just my Tarot Classic and my Tarot Serein are the ones that get the most use. Not the last couple of weeks, like I said, because my brain has just been beep, 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 beep. So we've got a chariot, quite a static feeling chariot. Yes, they're just gonna. Oh, I've just mixed that up. Hermit is a woman, which changes things up a bit, doesn't it? I love the colours. The wheel is less awful than most wheels. Not a fan of wheels. Justice, Hanged Man. Let's see. Oh yeah, I remember really loving this Death card. Temperance. Let's see, and the Devil. I know that third eyes and just eyeballs generally feature in this quite a bit, which I like. And that sort of weird sort of wiggly flaminess of like sun flames, or just, which seems to feature again. See, we've got an eye at the top of the tower. I really like there's a slight, it has a slight, what's the term I'm looking for? Slight unsettling feeling about it. And it's just different enough from a classic Smithwaite that to make it interesting and give you something to like get your teeth into. So here, when I was talking about like the sort of esoteric editions, you can see the moon, and then you've got, oh, what's it called again? The symbol. Oh my God, my brain. And then this, they've got like the Eye of Providence, or the all-seeing eye here. See, again, same again. Lots of rays of light, that sort of Illuminati type feeling. See this, the sun rays, they have like almost a sunflower feel to them. This feels very, I don't know, almost a bit like zombies clambering up a wall. It's kind of a bit, again, slightly unsettling, but I like it. The world. I love that she's got the world just like floating in her hand, and then each of the different creatures that are usually in the corners are like hair combs and, can I point, and earrings, which I love. Sorry, my lighting's not great. Ooh. Oh my God, look at the background of this card. Like, can you imagine having wallpaper with chalices all over it? That would be pretty cool, right? Sort of chintzy Victorian looking wallpaper, and then you look closely and it's got tarot symbols on it. Oh, that needs to happen. That would be so cool. Two of Cups. We've got a South Asian. There's obviously the Taj Mahal there in India. We like that. Three of Cups looks to be at an event. Four of Cups. That's interesting because he's actually pouring the fourth cup out. And look at all the eyes. And then there's people that are completely black, but it's not that their skin is completely black. It's that they're almost like voids. It's really interesting. See, this woman, it looks more like she would be really dark skinned, and then she's got tattoos on her. But this woman in the bath is she's just void, and she's got like a single eye in the middle of her head, and then all these hands all over her. So it's more sort of creepy and weird. I look at the pages. It's interesting because the pages are like standing in doorways or windows. Midnight blue horse. That's pretty cool. Oh, there's like, can you see the tentacles in the background? Interesting. Ooh. And then again, it's like chintzy wallpaper, but with pentacles all in the background. I really like that. That's interesting. On the, I've not looked at a walkthrough of this for ages. 4 of discs. That's interesting as an interpretation, isn't it, for the 4 of discs or coins or pentacles? Lots again, like lots of butterflies and wings and eyes at the top there. So many eyeballs. Teeth and eyeballs. I really like teeth and eyeball stuff. I don't know. What can I say? I'm a spooky bitch. Oh wow, yeah. So look at these like heads. It's almost like one of those Zen gardens, and they're raking the sand, and it appears that they are pregnant, but they've got different colored shoes on, and then there's these stone heads. I mean, what? I can't wait to read the book on. Let's just keep that out. I'm going to have a look at the book on that. And again, I love the 8 of discs, that like, because I feel like being a crafter, I can really relate to the 8 of discs or 8 of pence. Oh my god. Yes. She's giving me like a Koye on her time off vibes. It seems that each of the... Oh, wow. I love him. Yeah, I remember really liking him. King of pence, king of coins, king of discs. Who else has this deck? Hello, Stephanie. We're looking at the True Heart Intuitive Tarot by Rachel True, who did all the writing and guidance for the artwork, and then the illustrations are by Stephanie Singleton. I'm not doing like a proper walkthrough, I've just unboxed it. And so look at the Ace of Wands with the Phoenix rising from the flames. Oh, that's interesting, with the birds coming home to roost feel, you know, with the ships coming back in thing. Oh, 5 of Wands. Look at the snakes. Gorgeous. Oh, look at this bird has collected all sorts of little odds and sods. There's a die and a coin and a flower and what looks to be a piece of string. I don't know. There's all sorts of stuff in there. That's very cool. It's interesting depiction of the 9 of Wands. Oh, I like that. The 10 of Wands. That makes me think in the Golden Thread Tarot, the 10 of Wands is I believe a dung beetle, and then the 10 wands, because obviously dung beetles can push, they can roll huge amounts. And I don't know if that is a dung beetle as well as some kind of scarab. They can really push, you know, large amounts bigger than their like body weight. They're really strong. Oh my goodness. Stunning. And they've got some of these, the people have tattoos on them. Instead of a horse, a phoenix. Look at her. Yep, I'm into it. And then finally the swords. I really like the aces. Let's see. 3 of Swords. Not my favorite. But, you know, I'm not a massive fan of the Smith-Waite 3 of Swords. 4 of Swords. That's interesting. Again, another sort of void-like depiction of a person. Wow, 5 of Swords with all the eyes, swords. I mean, I feel like that's what the person is seeing in front of them, and they're, I don't know. Oh, it's a bit pointy things and eyes. The 6 of Swords is interesting because she's been taken up into the air, away from the swords. It's one way to get about, I guess. Boat's probably easier though, right? That's interesting, the Seven of Swords, because you've got foxes embroidered onto the back of their coat and they've crossed their fingers. But I don't really view the Seven of Swords in a negative way. I see it as resourcefulness, as doing what you need to do, making the call that you need to make. There can maybe be some trickery and some conniving in there, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. And the example that I've seen other people give that I always think about as well is that, you know, if someone is starving and they steal a loaf of bread, technically that stealing is illegal, but people need to eat. And really, I would be more angry that we are in a society, in a situation where people are going hungry or being homeless. That's what we need to be looking at, not the fact that they've stolen, but why they've had to steal, the root cause. That's the true evil. So yeah, this one just gives me anime vibes. I don't know why, it just reminds me of some anime I've seen. This is how I feel. Brain worms. That's me right now. The 10 is really weird because I can't tell if she's made of stone because she's got like verdigris or green moldiness on her and she's got snakes. So I feel like she's meant to be Medusa. And she's turned to stone herself, but also it could be that she's just completely drained of blood and she's starting to like molder and decompose. But you know, she does have snakes for hair, so it is probably Medusa. And then we've got some very where's my King of Swords? Where's my king? Where's my king? Don't tell me I've got a card missing. Oh, that would be annoying, wouldn't it? No, I'm just going to have to go through them all. How the hell? No, don't. I was just perking up. Don't ruin it. Tarot. Maybe it was when I put the two pieces together I messed up. 3, 9. Oh, no, he got put in at the wrong speed. There we go. Okay, he just got put back in the wrong space. And these feel very sort of icy and yeah, very true too. I love that she's sort of balancing a scroll in the air and she's got butterflies around her. This one's cool. Wings instead of a horse. Oh, I've just knocked half the deck on the floor. I'm just gonna pick what I miss. I'm just gonna have a look in the oh no, I've just gone over it with my chair. I've just gone over I've just driven over the I don't know if you can see. Can you see? I just went over with my chair. That's always the problem when you drop cards. I always forget you need to just turn. You need to not wheel. Oh well. Just seems to be just it's been broken in. It's been christened. Wow. Oh well. Let's just have a look. Because I'm probably really behind on the chat. Wow, I'm really behind. Let's see. So Richie went, not a fan of the 2 piles either, says Rosemary. V. Kestrel, hello. Oh, Candy's packing to go to Wales. I saw that. Found a strawberry dress for £4 to buy local. The strawberry dress, Candy. Did you buy? I'm sorry, why would it be for? I'm sorry, what? Like the strawberry dress? I'm about to fall asleep, so I'll catch a little sleep and see you all soon. Bye, Sarah. It is a big box, Simon, but the actual deck box has the 2-part with golden underneath part, so I think it's 70s. People talking about their vintage decks. Sorry, I'm just trying to read someone wants to ask something. I mean, the chat is there just to ask, but if you are saying you want to ask something, it makes me feel like what you want to ask is inappropriate. Where's Jamie? Hello, Jamie, my love. Five of Swords reminds me of 80s Aeon Flux animation on TV. I read it in the Sasarabite book yesterday. It is, I'll do it my way. Oh no, Jamie, you went over on your Fyodor Pavlov cards, and that would break me because that's an indie deck. This like it's got the lines on it, but like it hasn't really bent the card. Like at least I know it's mine, I guess. It's just gotta, yeah, it's got 4 whacking great lines across it. Tarot card, roller derby. I just wish I'd just done what I usually do when I drop a card and just very carefully spin my chair. But no, I didn't think they would have fallen that far behind. But there you go. Let's see if I can give it a riffle shuffle. Candy was right. It ruffle shuffles beautifully. Give it another go. Oh, it bridges together quite well. See if I can show you. Now that I've put the thing down, I'll probably mess it up because that's always the way, isn't it? As soon as you start showing what you're doing. Sorry, if just the boob. Straightening up the piles on the boob. Oh, yeah, boy. Awesome. Okay. Oh, that didn't go so well that time. Merp. Cool. So, yeah, I'm glad I finally bit the bullet, pulled the trigger, as they say. Those are both gun related. They have like less violent things to refer to having done something. Yeah, because pull the trigger or like bite the bullet just feels a bit aggressive, doesn't it? Okay, seven of discs. I just wanted to have a quick look at the book. That's the majors. Disc, sword, disc, 7 of discs. So she's got the high vibe and the low vibe, or the like, I guess, shadow and light, or whatever way you want to view it. So yeah, it says, I'm just going to read the thing. You may be gestating something that requires constant nurturing and your full attention. Stay the course. Continue on with patience, perseverance, and attention to detail. You've come far. Put your hustle on what needs fine-tuning. Trust that you're on the right track. Keep focused on long-term goals and you'll see solid payoff. Entschuldigen. Meow. In relationship dynamics, let things flourish naturally. Balance can be found if desired. Find appreciation in where you're at. Nourish what's present and don't push too hard for enormous leaps forward just yet. Control issues, power struggles, and anxiety about the future may arise. Seeds previously planted are beginning to show returns, though the pace may be far too languid for some, causing frustration. You may feel like you're in the doldrums, but you're progressing more than you think. Don't spend money you haven't earned yet. This is a crucial time to double down and check details to ensure a bountiful harvest. If things feel on uneven footing, a cooler head will prevail. And then she talks about being pulled in a low vibe. And I like that she's giving like work, relationships, and that kind of thing, sort of general life dealings. So that's cool. But I apparently she relates the majors to stuff that sort of her own experiences, which I know is what Bakara Wintner does in What the Fuck is Tarot book as well. Anyway, I have waffled on enough. Gesundheit. Danke, Tom. Dankeschön. Let's just have a quick last little look through the I meant to say, Jamie, did you get a replacement card for the card you rolled over, or did you just leave it? Working, 2 of us in and both working and trying to keep an eye on things at the same time. No, it's neat. It shuffles in, but you see it when it's put down. Oh, what a pain. So yeah, so I have waffled on quite enough. Maybe this will be the deck that helps me just sit down and do a reading, because I'll be like excited to just have a look through the book for each card. But yeah, I like that it shuffles nicely. And for those who've not seen the deck, there's the back as well. It's pretty cool, and it's completely reversible. For those of you who use reversibles and place your cards down face down, like I don't place my cards. Say it, don't spray it. My God, ew. I don't place my cards face down and turn them over. I used to when I used to read with just the Osho Zen. That was the only deck I had, and I used to do the key spread, and I would lay them all out face down. And I took great delight when I was reading for people in turning over each card with a flourish, one as I got to each card. But now, and in a way, I can see why you do that, because you're focusing on each card as it comes, because sometimes you're looking ahead at the other cards. And I think, yeah, if you're doing positional spreads, that can work, I guess, because then you can look at all the cards and the interplay. But because I read freestyle 3 cards or 9 cards, it doesn't really, I just lay them all down, because from the jump, I'm a bit like with reading Lenormand, I want to see them all, and then it's like an interplay. Who was it that said sneezing is like an orgasm for your face? Is it though? Apparently it's an eighth of an orgasm. I have sneezed 8 times in a row, and it's not like an orgasm. Oh no, I'm sorry to hear that he ignored your request, Jamie. That's a thing. Trimming, what's trimming practice, Stephanie? Ew, David. What's ew? What are you ewing, Chris? Ew, David. I didn't realize you watched. Do you watch Schitt's Creek, Chris? It's like my favorite thing. It's so quotable. I whenever I reply to things with a GIF, it's almost exclusively Schitt's Creek gifs, because there's a Schitt's Creek GIF for almost every situation. Elbow cough, yeah. That's the best way. I was unintentionally impersonating her to Kelly yesterday, Chris. Oh yeah, that was so funny. He tripped over the corner of his sofa and went, "Ow!" And it was so Alexis Rose. It was hilarious. It made me laugh. So then I glided him back, and I'm like, "I know you've just fell over and like hurt yourself, but I don't mean to laugh, but it was so funny because it was just pure Alexis Rose vibes. Ew! Oh, ow, David! Ew! Boop. So yeah, I've seen them all twice as well. Me and my husband have watched it through twice. We finished our last rewatch about five weeks ago, and I'm already like, I want to rewatch it again, but I'm saving it for even bleaker times. I'm saving it for the winter when I'm like really. So hello, Escape from the Eight of Swords. Lovely to see you. How you doing? Yeah, I've seen them all twice, Kelly, and I wasn't hearing anything just because I said ew. Yeah, because ew. What happened? I disappeared, and I was just checking to see if my internet was still connected, and then I come back to this page and I'm back. Anyway, so you haven't missed much. You've just missed you haven't missed much, honestly. Just me chatting pure shit as usual. As always. So yeah, I'm gonna go because I need to start making Lunchables. What time did my husband go for walkies? It was probably about 1:30, right? So I'm making vegan vegan bacon toasties with like melted vegan cheese and ketchup and stuff. So it's just such a fidget. Anyway, sorry. So yeah, what a time to freeze. I was talking about my Ooh David earrings. So yeah, I'm gonna go. Yeah, it's nice to see Kate in here. I've not seen Kate for a while. So yeah, I I'm really bad at saying bye. It's really difficult when you're doing a live because I'll say bye and then someone will say something and you start chatting about something else and then you say, it's like when you're on the phone when you're a teenager and you're like, no, you hang up. No, you hang up. No, like you hang up. No, you hang up. No, you hang up. And then eventually one of you just goes, so I'm going to do that. But you know the drill that I like to say these days? You know, stay safe, be sensible, wear a mask, socially distance, wash your hands, ventilate those rooms, think about other people other than yourself. Some of us are poor, sickly little creatures that need you to be kind. And yeah, look after yourselves. Marsha, I never hang up first. That's so Marsha. I can see that. Stephanie, it's great seeing you, Kelly. And so long to you all. And have a good afternoon. Yeah, have a good afternoon, all of you, and whatever you do, or good evening, or good morning, because you're all everywhere. You coming here at me from like Australia and North America and mainland Europe and right here in Blighty. So yeah, wherever else. So yeah, enjoy the rest of your week because it's Monday, right? It is Monday. Yeah, it's Monday. Is it Monday? What even are days these days? It's Monday. Oh my God. I'm like, is it Monday or Tuesday for a second? Panny life, right? Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna go make some lunch and then I'm gonna like sit and read this. I'm so excited. This has cheered me up. Thank you so much for keeping me company. And also yeah, if you are feeling bleak as well, I hear you, I see you. Not like literally, because that's kind of creepy. Like, I see you, like I'm watching you. I'm not watching you. That'd be weird. But I mean, like, I get it. And it's really hard to like climb out of that mindset. But yeah, connecting with people here today, that's definitely sort of made a difference. You know, Aunt Flo will probably turn up in a couple of days and I'll be like, that's why it's been so much worse. Because every time, anyone else get caught out like that? I get caught out like that all the time. I'm like, I know it's coming, but at the same time, why am I being like this? Like, hang on. Nearly no. When did I start my period? It was 12. Like, 28 years. You'd think you would realize at this point, but some of us never learn. So, yeah, you take care. And, oh, bye, Barbara. I didn't see you comment earlier, but if that's your first comment, lovely to see you. And, yeah. Ciao, 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 ciao.